As far as scaling goes, we provide Docker images separate from like the community bank of images. Our repository has images for just CLI PHP, PHP FPM, one with Apache built in, and all of those for each of the operating systems and versions of PHP that we support. So each one will have, so I'm just trying to say that the Docker image repository that we have has dozens of images to choose from. Another beautiful thing about our Docker images is that they're hardened and CIS benchmarked. And that just means that they follow the standards set by CIS for security. So that can ensure confidence with that all of your images are locked down with ports and all of the best security practices out there, which can also ensure compliance. So like PCI compliance or SOC 2 or FedRAMP, etc. You can be confident that the image will pass those compliances. We don't necessarily have control over your application, so that part is up to you to make sure that the application passes compliance, but you don't need to do anything with your image. Um, and as far as the robustness goes, we have build variables built into our images that make configuration really simple. Instead of having to run a bunch of operating system specific commands in your Docker file, such as like apt install or yum install and things like that, or PECL builds, etc. You can just list out what you need in these build variables. So we have like system dependencies so that you can list the binaries that you need in case you need like iMagick or any other dependency that your application has. You just list them in that build variable. Same with your PHP extensions. You just list those in one of the build variables. There's a few others for configuration and such. And our images all come with the S6 overlay built in, and that's for service management. So, so the CLI image doesn't utilize the S6 overlay because it's just running the PHP it's just running PHP one service. The FPM and Apache modules do have multiple services running, so they use the S6 overlay. Some might see that as anti-pattern to Docker because the whole point of containerization is to have one service per container. However, we all understand that in the real world that doesn't always make sense. You don't necessarily want one image for PHP, one for FPM, one for your web server. It can get really complicated. So we give you the option to build it however you want, and that can help a lot with setting your system up. And then we have orchestration templates for Docker Compose, Docker Swarm or Stack, Kubernetes, Terraform, Puppet. We have a handful of others. We have Ansible plans ready to go. Those are, there's a few that are advantageous for people that are shifting from our previous product, Zend Server, to Zend PHP. So if you're using the build and deployment systems that are built into Zend Server, you can continue to use that pattern moving forward with our Ansible plans.